So as we sit there and talk, we both look up, and guess who we see walking in?
Wow, here she is.
I'm gonna give her that slow clap. Come in, yeah.
Finally.
Come on in and join us, ladies and gentlemen, with Miss Marian Reneu. Thank you for joining us.
Hi,
I'm gonna give you the high five from across the way.
How are you?
Thank you for joining us. I know you're busy, and
yeah, I just got through training. So
I was just telling Chris, you know, I was talking to your manager Gracie. We've been trying to get you on, but your schedule, our schedule, the cancellation of the fight, the upcoming fight, it's been hectic. So we want to thank you for taking the time out. I know you're busy and tired, and your call-in's coming in, but he's gonna wait a little bit. Can we have him wait? Awesome. Yeah, call in. People want to talk to Mo already.
They're out there.
Yeah, text and tell them to call in a little bit. We'll talk to Mo a little bit. And how are things, first of all?
Good.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
So I can't complain. Just really busy. Like my schedule is really tight. It's like this was perfect. I know. Yeah. I know how you feel. It's like don't change anything up because everything's already scheduled. We're all good to go.
You know, this guy. I mean, he says don't. I mean, you're busy too. It's getting a hold of this guy is like impossible. Then you know you're fighting, you're training, your mother, your teacher, all this stuff. It's like, man, how do you do it? But thank you for joining us. We have a lot of questions. We got a lot of fans that have some questions too. I think when we booked you on the show, I was talking to Archie. He said we kind of want to get into how you got into mixed martial arts, how to come about, how to feel when you got that phone call. So let's start off. You're a teacher.
I am a teacher. So I had right when I got into teaching, I was not into martial arts at all, but I liked it. I had always had that instinct of boxing because I grew up with my dad watching the greats on boxing when it was free on TV. Nobody remembers that anymore. But we remember the greats, and I just remember having this fascination with it. Fast forward a few years later, there was an administrator who actually had done professional boxing, and I was interested. I'm like, really? You did it? And it was a female. So she's like, yeah. And I'm like, she's like, you have to be disciplined. And right when she said discipline, that caught me because I wanted that discipline. You know, I needed something and a change. I was doing weight training, I was doing running. I was bored. And so she introduced boxing to me in her garage for like a year. Loved it. I wanted more. I wanted to fight. You know, at first I wanted to just do boxing.
But see, there's that bloodline where they go, there's people who want to train this. She goes, I wanted to fight. So,
well, a lot of people don't know. I mean, people in her circle and those that have followed her know that she's an athlete anyways, you know, college and all that. So she's used to being competitive, you know, and this bring it to another level. It's just her mindset changed to a different vision.
And see, I never liked training. I like training for a purpose. I don't like to go into the weight room and just train. I want to train for a purpose. What am I going to get out of it? How is this going to benefit me competitively? That's just how I think.
Yeah.
So I saw Gina Carano and Chris Cyborg put on a fight, and I'm like, they're getting paid? They're getting paid to fight each other? Sign me up. What do I need to do? So, you know, we did the groundwork. We found that, you know, we're going to need ground game. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to stand up. I don't need that ground stuff.
Was this still in the garage? Was this still in the garage?
Yeah, it was still in the garage training. But at that point, I realized that, you know, if I wanted to get into mixed martial arts, I realized that I had to be good at all disciplines of martial arts. And so I threw myself into jiu-jitsu. I threw myself into the stand-up, the Muay Thai part of it. And I feel that every person that I have ever trained with, every person that I've come in contact with, as far as sparring partners, they have all helped me, whether it's a negative or a positive. In some way, shape, or form, it has all shaped me to this exact point right here.
Now, starting your career where you're just training, you said, I want to learn this, was your mindset to get to the professional level and get to the strike force, get to the, I mean, UFC didn't have the women's division, I mean, the women fighting, it was just strike force, and then, you know, now you have the victims. Was your vision like, hey,
my vision was strike force, but believe it or not, here were my goals. So I only wanted to get a purple belt in jiu-jitsu because purple was my favorite color, and I wanted to stop at purple. How ridiculous is that?
No, coach, I'm cool. No, we want you black. No, I'm cool.
No, you keep your brown. I just want the purple.
I'm good.
So at one point, I was just like, I wanted a purple belt, and then I wanted to only 5 fights, and one of those fights I wanted to be in a major promotion. That's it. That was my goals, and to make some money. who knew that that would then it turn to what it is now.
Now, when you have that, I mean, that's your goal. Your support system, your friends and family go like, have you heard what Momo's saying back there? Like, she's talking about she wants to know. How did that come over? I mean,
the initial reaction from everybody, and this goes from coaches at the place where I teach to my own family to my boyfriend my husband now.
Shout out to the husband and boyfriend.
But there was a time when they did not support it whatsoever. They kind of laughed it off. Like, what are you doing? My support system wasn't strong, and I was just like, but I'm that type of person that when you tell me no, I'm gonna do it anyways. My dad learned later on in life. He learned a little too late. My mom's like, don't you understand your daughter yet? Don't tell her no, she's gonna go do it anyways. So when I had all this negativity, and it was a lot. What are you doing? Don't do that. That's dumb. Do something else. You're too smart for that. You're too this and that for that. I did it anyways because they told me I couldn't.
Was there any pushback from being a teacher from the school district saying, hey, you're in a violent sport and you're teaching kids? Was there any pushback there, or were
not
they
once? So the school district, no. Maybe the coaches and some of the teachers. I'm telling you. Okay.
They were one of our sponsors. They were one of the sponsors.
They fight to get there.
I'm telling you. But at that time, Janet Jones was our superintendent, and she's a huge MMA fan.
Oh, so she was
huge MMA fan. She can name everybody. She'll sit there and she'll be cussing at the TV. Sorry, Janet, but she's very into it.
Janet's like, don't say that.
They know.
Yeah.
But fast forward, I mean, and now I have an administration team that is crazy supportive. They're just all like, go awesome. Chase those dreams. This is great.
What about your kids when they see the teacher on TV? I mean, that has to be pretty special.
Surreal to them, I think. I don't think they know what to think. They're just like, my teacher's on TV.
Are they a little more behaved now that they know you can? They're like,
I've always had well-behaved students. I'm very strict in class. I'm very structured and controlling that way. Yeah. But I think that's something that they need. But I have really good kids, and it's to the point where like, hey, listen, if your teacher can do it, why can't you do it? What are you doing? If I had a teacher who could outdo me, I'd be like, okay, we need to reevaluate where I'm going.
Have you had any students that showed interest in possibly?
I have. I've had a few students. In fact, a few have come and trained and still do train, maybe in the jiu-jitsu, but not showed interest in the fighting aspect, because when they realize how much you have to do, I think it hinders a lot of people. And we have talent in this valley. We have a lot of talent. And if they just honed in on putting some energy into that, I think we could have more people from the valley going to the UFC.
Me and Chris were talking that before you got here about what goes into, the fight is the fun part. We've heard so many fighters say the fight, but all the training that goes into, like, a lot of people don't understand that, know that. So that's why when we did this show, we're like, we want to know her, what it takes for her to get in there, do what she does, to finally get to that show, that fight night.
Yeah, the training sucks, and it goes back to my track days too. I hated the training on the track. I hated that burning feeling, the feeling of vomiting after a workout. I hate it, but I loved competing. I loved the track meets. When you got to put it all together, you're like, okay, that's what it was for. It made it worth it. So it's the same concept. I might not like some days of training. Some days may be harder than others, but I know I have to do it because in the long run, it's all going to pay off. So and if I don't do it, my opponent is doing it.
Yeah.
And that's
all for the show. When the UFC says, I mean, this is what you've been training for. Like, I mean, it has to be surreal.
Well, when I realized that women could go into the UFC, and then they were having the Ultimate Fighter. Remember they had the Ultimate Fighter? I decided I want to do it. I took a week off. My administration said, go do it. Go. If you do not stay here, I'm going to kick you out of the school and make you go. This is literally what my principal told me. So I went to Vegas and I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter. Made the first day, went through the second day of interviews, and they kept harping on my age. And I was 36 at the time. I was 36. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm in better shape than that girl, you know? And I was pointing out some of the girls who made it. And I was pointing them out. I was like, wait a minute, I can beat her, I can beat her, I can beat her. But they kept harping on my age. It was something that they were stuck on. And so they let me go. I was too old.
Yeah.
And I didn't have enough fights. And I was heartbroken. I went home and I was just like, I rethought about everything that I was doing. Like, man, I'm taking a lot of time away from my son. I'm taking a lot of time away from my family. I'm missing events. Do I really want to continue doing this? And something just said, do it, keep going. You know, I had coaches who were just like, nah, you're not going to give up. No, you've got something. And then that's when they got me in Invicta.
Yep.
And I was supposed to have a fight in December of that year with Invicta. And then the week before I was supposed to fly out, my girl backed out. She had bronchitis. And I was like I went home and I'm like, I just need to eat a pizza. I'm tired. You know, I had done all the training a week out from a fight and I was just
Can we pull that mic a little closer?
Yes.
Perfect, yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, we're good, yeah.
All right, so a week out from my fight, she pulls out. And I'm heartbroken. That was my big show. You know, that was one of my big shows, one of my goals on my list. And I go in Round Table Pizza and I'm eating my pizza and I'm like,
oh, you seriously went in?
I swear to God, I went in and had pizza.
You imagine walking in, there's Mo just all down and out eating pizza, like, man, that girl's hungry.
I had a whole pizza to myself. My husband had his own. I'm like, don't touch my pizza. You know, so.
That is hilarious.
Got it, a phone call while I'm eating my pizza. Coach, Mo, don't get fat. That was what he said. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm eating my pizza. He's like, don't stop eating your pizza. We got a call. The UFC wants to sign you. I'm like, shut up. Literally. No, you're lying. Mo, put the pizza down. You're gonna. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? Yes, you're gonna fight in January. Oh my God, like.
And when was this? When were you eating the pizza? What month were you eating the pizza?
I was eating December, but I had only had 2 slices. I was gonna finish that pizza too. I was.
That's when you wish you would have answered the phone call. You're like, let me get 2 more slices of some ranch and then answer it. But
it was meant to be, and we went and we were able to, you know, showcase exactly what it is, what we wanted, and from there, I think I have just grown, not only as a person but mentally. As a woman, you know, I've grown in different ways. I've become so much stronger. I've learned that this is an individual sport. You have to have a thick skin, strong mind, because there are people going to criticize you for everything.
After that fight, did you start getting the recognition and start seeing difference and people recognizing you and you know, like, that's a UFC fighter? Because I have a story I'm going to tell you. You probably don't. I'm positive you don't remember, and I believe. I want to say, see, I'm a huge fan of mixed martial arts since the get-go. I've been a fan, so I've met a lot of, you know, famous people. I'm like, hey, what's up? But when I see like fighters, I'm like, oh my God, that's there's Nick Diaz, there's so and so, and I go to Vegas these fights. So
we're gonna wind down this segment. Go ahead and pay some bills.
Oh, we're gonna pay some bills real quick. When we come back, I got a great story to tell anyway. So we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Come back to MMA Fight Pass, and we'll be back with Mo.
I have a great story to tell you too, as far as the whole starstruck thing on my first fight. I ran into Cormier Johnson, and I was like, like literally, I'm like, hi, and then like it was John Jones, so it was the John Jones Dan Cormier fight, and I was just like, hi, and they're like, hey, what's up, girl? And I'm like, nothing. And I was just like, so.
DC said, "What's up?" You're just
oh
like,
my gosh, I couldn't even talk.
We good? Welcome back to MMA Fight Pass. We're here, Chris. We're here. Mo.
Hey, shout out to 50 Fitness.
Yeah, they've been good to us. Thank you guys so much. Is Gracie here? Where's Gracie at? I don't see her.
Oh no, if she was here, she would be right there.
Okay.
So
I got it. First of all, your manager is awesome because you know, as we were trying to book you, me and her texting, calling back and forth, and back and this and that. So when she said the fight had canceled, the first, you know, with Tanya, I said, well, we'd love to still have Mo. And she says, you were going to rebook for another day. I said, okay, that's fine. And then the next day she texted me back. She's like, hey, Mo still wants to do it. She has a fight. I said, oh, perfect. I go, let us know what her favorite treat is. We'll bring her a little treat. And she goes, no, she has another fight. Don't bring her nothing. And I'm like, okay, I won't. And so she had the fight coming with Sarah. She goes, but she likes sunflowers, so bring those. Like, oh, all right. So we did.
Where's my sunflowers?
They're right there. Look, we do have them. We're gonna read about the segment. Us at MMA Fight Pass. You want to get them? Yeah, I do have them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Me and the guys want to wish you some good luck and put those up there. Good luck, sunflowers, huh?
I love sunflowers. You're so
you can thank
beautiful.
Gracie because she yelled at me. She's like, bring those things. I'm like, damn, what? Shit. So,
and she's serious too, huh?
I know. She's like,
kind of scary.
And then she goes, hey, just let you know, she's number 10, not number 12. And I'm like, well, I didn't post that. I'm sorry. I'll get that fixed. I'm like, so, Gracie, where you're at, we love you. Sorry for all the mistakes. And we're here.
She's on top of it,
yeah, she is.
she?
So she
Gotta love her.
Back. But back to the celebrity thing. I think this was after your fight with Andrade, I believe. It was one of your first fights. And I was living in Exeter, and I was coming by, and I saw Elite Gym. So I pulled up, and just to go check it out. I pull up, and you had pulled up next and got out. I just saw the UFC bag and get out, and I did one of the whole, hey, you're Momo. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, see you later. That's me though. I'm so goofy and like such a fan. I did that. No, and I went in, and mind you, it's still not over yet. You go in there, you're training. I'm sitting on the little benches they have, and I'm sitting there like, I am such a tool. Like she's probably going like, what's this guy? And I'm just like, and Tom Knox comes up. He's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, nah, just watching. I saw Mo and just checking out the gym. And I'm like, I laugh like, she probably thinks I'm the biggest weirdo in the park. I was like, you're Mo, huh? Yeah. All right, see you later. And I walked in. I'm like, ooh.
I get that a lot, believe it or not. I get it a lot. So I try to engage now in conversation because now I understand too, because I did it with DC and John Jones, you know, on my first fight. I was all,
on the break, Mo was telling us she ran into DC and she had a moment. She got starstruck.
A moment. For sure. No. I was just starstruck. I couldn't say anything else. I'm like, hi. And that was it. And everybody was like, my coaches were just laughing at me, like, really? That's all you could say? And my husband was right there too. And I'm like, oh, damn, I look dumb.
I had my buddy Tommy from Texas. He's like, quit trying to take pictures with everybody because I see a fight. I'm like, hey, can I take it? And he's like, you're embarrassing me. I'm like, but that's my thing. I meet fighters. I'm like, I know what. I'm just a big fan, and I get goofy like that. So
we all are, and that's what got our interest.
I just wish I would have said more when I went Mo. If I wouldn't know would be here, she probably thought, like I said, it was a long time ago. I seriously went like that. See you later. And she's like sitting with her bag outside the gym, like, okay. And then I'm sitting on the bench, and I'm like this. She probably thinks I'm weird. Yeah, it was the weirdest, awkward thing ever. So yeah, I apologize for that.
Not at all.
Upcoming fight.
Yes.
Sarah McMahon, big name. Get to go to Orlando.
Yes.
How's training going? How's
Training's good. Training's tough. Training's hard. Training's exactly where it needs to be. I'm still fighting a wrestler.
Now, so did you have to change much? I mean,
you know what? We prepare for everything. We don't assume that she's just going to do her wrestling. We know that that's what they revert back to. However, I'm not naive enough to think that she hasn't added something to her toolbox, like I haven't added something to my toolbox, because we need to be evolving, especially if we're in the top 10. So training is going well. We're training for all aspects. We're training for bad positions. We're training for everywhere in the cage.
Yeah. Now, I mean, we wouldn't know, but I hear this from a couple people I've talked to. Coming up to fight week, you're gonna fly out there. How tough is that doing all the interviews, the media, the autograph signing? Is it tough, as tough as they say in the fight week?
Not at all. Not at all. I think it's more tough for, say, the main card and the title fights, just because they have to do a little bit more. They have to do media day, they have to do open workouts, they have to do, you know. I don't think I would want to do all of that, you know. I really just like to focus in on stuff. If I had to, don't get me wrong, I would do it, I would adjust. But I adjust really well, because the way they gear it for fight week is everything is early in the morning. So I still have time to train towards the evening and rest and do whatever it is that I need to do. But they have a time slot. Boom, this is where you need to be. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to wear. Thank you very much. Okay, you're done. Goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's super.
What do you fly a week in advance to go out there? Or?
I'll fly out on Monday. I'll get there on Monday. It's not like my international fights where I fly out on Monday and get there on Tuesday. So we'll fly out. Monday is actually one of my rest days. That's why I do that, because I know I'm traveling on that day. So I'll go out there, I'll rest, I'll acclimate myself to the 3-hour time difference. It's not as bad as, say, 8 hours, 9 hours that I've been having to do. So we'll get out there, we'll get our food, we'll get our, we go grocery shopping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we go grocery shopping. We get familiar with everything, where's everything at, and then I pretty much just stay in the
Are you
hotel.
still cutting weight that last week, or?
Oh, of course. You know, you're always still focusing on it, but
No private chef?
I manage my weight. I don't cut weight. I manage my weight. Yeah. So I'm not one of those fighters that are cutting 10, 15 pounds. It's dangerous. It's not safe for yourself.
Yeah, and that's a big deal, you know, especially after last week with Uriah Hall and.
Well, you know how many people, since they've implemented that new, actually it should have happened last year when they implemented that weight rule where, commission, gauge you and all that stuff that should have been done. I think it was like last April or May, but they didn't do anything till actually the ending of last year. They've had something like, I think I read like 51 fighters that hadn't made weight.
Is that what it is?
Since all that, I think 59 or 57 or something like that fighters that had not made weight.
They didn't pull the whole DC towel thing?
Not even with that, nothing like that. But what I was going to ask Mo, what are some of the key elements that have to happen to be successful in this fight?
Oh, to be successful with Sarah? Pretty much, command from the beginning. Make her respect my tools. Make her leery of coming in and just trying to be fearless. Make her respect it. Keep moving. Even if you're caught in a bad position, never stop. Get out of that position quickly. So the key is going to be movement. It's going to be angles. It's going to be making her respect what I have to offer in the fight game. I mean, it's easy to take me for granted. I'm 40 years old.
I mean, it's not even that. I mean, obviously the favorite because everybody think, because she's going to be strong. And that's a given.
Well, that's what they think.
The same thing against Ronda.
They think she's going to be stronger.
But then Ronda used her technique, and technique outrules the strength. And basically, that's what I see with you, the same thing. She's going to revert back to her wrestling. That's her deal. She'll come out striking, but her footwork, she's very unorthodox as a stand-up fighter. She leaves herself open, chin's always up. She doesn't control that center line at all. Never. Considering the experience and how long she's been in the game, she hasn't evolved with stand-up at all. It's always right back to grind.
Well, I know from other interviews and watching her, she has wanted to improve her stand-up. And so that's been her main focus. So, I agree with you. But in retrospect, I do believe that is something she's honed in on. She realizes it, because I think Misha, she didn't really evolve as a striker. She kind of went to what she knew because it worked for her for so long. But girls caught on and they were evolving. And so it's just one of those things that if she hasn't, it would be her mistake.
Interesting.
And then going back to your weight cut thing, I think now that when Osada comes out, there's a new rule that they're going to weigh you when they come out, and you have to be a certain. So my fight class is 135, and I have to be 152 or within 1 or 2 pounds of that. So I can't be a 165-pound fighter. I can't weigh 165 pounds and fight at 135. Yeah. So they're kind of trying to get fighters to manage their weight better. So that they're not having these problems.
40 pounds. Because it is dangerous to hear all these fighters passing out. Yeah.
I'm a testimonial of it. I'm a kidney patient, man. I'm going on my 3rd year of dialysis. And it's because of not cutting weight, but it's just because of the health reasons of bad management.
Yeah. Now, do you use a nutritionist or you just slowly manage weight yourself? And
I do have a nutritionist, and the UFC Performance Institute also has a nutritionist there. I use a little bit of both of their knowledge, and I put it together along with my experience. I don't have anybody cook for me. I don't trust anybody cooking my food but me. I have my own little conventional.
Take it to the hotel room, and there you are.
George Foreman.
I don't play. Nobody, no food poisoning here.
Yeah.
So no, I do everything myself.
That's good. That's awesome. Awesome. Now, Archie, you're telling me we're gonna get a phone call right now. We have a fan. Somebody wants to ask some questions.
James.
James will be calling in a little bit. Okay, well, he has about 30 seconds. He better get on it.
I know James.
You know James?
Yeah.
I hadn't met James. He just told me James wants to call in. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll have him call in.
His daughters, Jaylene in particular, has ambition to be an MMA fighter, and she actually has the drive and the skill to do it. She's doing stand-up. She's really young. I think it's a perfect age, and that's where you're going to see, you know, women's MMA start to explode, is when the younger girls right now, they're coming up, they're wrestling. Their parents are letting them wrestle. My dad didn't let me wrestle. They're letting them do striking.
High schools now have a lot of those high schools have girls wrestling. My niece wanted to do it, and I think that's amazing because, like I said, there's so much discipline and dedication to that. It's such an awesome thing to have females going in there and doing it at a young age.
Mickey Martinez's daughters.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark my words, 10 years from now, women's MMA is going to explode, and there's going to be more divisions offered because there's going to be more women available.
Yeah. You know, what they just added the 125 division, and you know what Paige just fought, right? You know.
Yeah. What do you think of that fight?
I thought Paige was supposed to fight.
Alexia goes,
I thought Paige was supposed to fight Jessica I would have really liked to see those two go at it.
That would have been a really good one, yeah.
I mean, for breaking her arm in the first round with that spinning back caught with the arm, yeah, that's the dangers of the spinning back fist. I think she did fairly well. I don't know if it's just me, but does she seem kind of small for the division? She seemed kind of small compared to her
Is he calling
opponent.
from Nixon, Nevada? I don't know if this is a bill collector, man. That's not him. Hello? Nope, they hung up. So I need is on the podcast. Yeah, you owe this bill. There he is right there.
Womp, womp, womp.
Hello, hello. We have Chris on the line?
James.
Or James? James, how you doing? Welcome to MMA Fight Pass. Good.
There you go, Matt. She's right here. Talk to her.
I'm going to put him up to the mic and you can hear him, and so the fans are there.
Hi, James. How are you? How's Jaylene?
Oh my God, they're doing so good.
Oh, tell her I love her. Tell her I miss her so much.
Yeah, I just told them right now they're inside training Muay Thai right now, and I said I'm gonna call MMA Fight Pass right now. They got Mo live, and they were just like, tell me a whole bunch of things to tell you. We miss her. We love. See, let me see. I should have wrote this down, but I didn't. I think they, quote unquote, Jaylene says, you tell her I miss her, I love her, and I'm training to be just like her, and she inspired me so much. And I told her, okay, and she said, can you come and get me when I'm in class? And I said, no, babe, there's a lot of people in there. You can text her anytime you want. And then Jasmine says, tell her I miss her and I love her. And she reaches over and she says, Jaylene, that's the nice one, right? And she says, yeah. And she says, okay.
Who's the mean one?
I don't know. I was gonna ask that, but I just was like, I just kind of wondered. I'm gonna ask her later. Who was mean to you?
So you're the nice one.
I'm the nice one.
Yeah. Was it Margie? No, I'm just kidding. But no. How you feeling, Mo? I know they changed your opponent. What was that a game changer for you, or you think it's better for you?
No, I think it's all the same. I wanted a top 10, so we kind of actually, Mondo and I kind of figured that it would be Sarah McMahon, to be honest with you. We kind of had a feeling that they would end up giving her to us. We actually have a map out of the women's division and who we're going to fight next and the possibilities, and we train, even though we're not training for them, we train, you know, just in case we fight this one, this is what we need to work on, even though we're not fighting them.
Yeah.
Outstanding. That's perfect. How you feel about Florida going way out there? I mean, it's still in the U.S., but it's still pretty far. They like to push you away from Cali, huh?
You know what? As long as we're in the United States, I love traveling. Don't get me wrong, but traveling for 17 hours on a plane and having to fight like 4 days later is a challenge. So I'm just happy we're in the United States. I can have some pancakes with peanut butter after my weigh-ins and get a good pizza, like with a lot of sauce.
We should have a pizza.
I hope you have a whole pizza from Mondo on the side.
Oh, he's a Ninja Turtle. You know he'll have his pizza.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's great hearing from you. I know you're gonna go in there and kick butt. We support you all the time down here. Everywhere. See, well, we're down here at Gracie Baja Northridge, and we're in All Out Boxing, and everyone's asking like, where are you guys from? Where are you guys from? And you know, we've been down here 2 months now, and we're telling everybody where we're from and where we come from. Elite, Garza Boxing, you know, Doug, Tom, and we're always talking about you, Mo. We're always talking, you know, and telling them who you guys are and stuff. And we wear your T-shirts everywhere, so we're always out here supporting you. You know, letting people know.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Tell your girls that I love them and I miss them, and to keep their focus no matter what.
Yeah. They after your fight, I know they want to come and see you. So
good.
We're letting them know.
Okay.
But you go out there and you win, and then you go out there and you win again, and then bring back that gold here in a couple more fights. I know you could do it.
Lord willing, you know it.
So, but yeah, thanks Archie for having me on. Give a shout out to MMA Fight Pass. You guys are doing an awesome job. Man, keep me in the loop. Let me know what's going on.
And we appreciate you calling in.
Thanks a lot, my friend. Appreciate it.
Bye, James.
All right. Bye-bye.
That has to be super cool when you have people calling and talking about you. That has to be like.
So when you came, you know, you told the story how you're like, hey, are you Mo? I have little girls who do that too, but you know, sometimes they're afraid to come up to me.
Too, so yeah, I'm like a little girl too. Like, are you Mo? So I appreciate the comparison. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is when the little girls go into the gym, I'm like, hey, you know, I want to communicate with them because there's so much out there for them. I'm like, let's keep pushing forward, sweetie. If you have dreams to do this, you can do it. You know, so I love when they come in, they want to take pictures. It makes my training so good.
Yeah, so worth it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That is an awesome feeling. So you win the fight, you get on the mic. Who are we calling out?
Well,
we don't. Let's put it on the spot. I want to know because I want to set up my map too of who's the fight back.
Well, you're gonna have to wait because I am one of those people who don't like to look past what I have in front of me right now. So what I have in front of me is Sarah McMahon, and she's all that I'm looking at. Obviously, I envision how I'm going to win over and over. I envision what I'm going to say after I win. That's me visualizing. But I'm not looking past her to the next opponent. Not just yet. Not until my hand is raised. So I've been that way. Everybody asks who's next, who's next. Let me win this one first. First things first.
You get on the mic and say, "Hey Vic, what's up?" That'd be cool too. I don't mind that, but if you're like, "Vic, what's up?" I'm like, "That's my girl right there."
Shout out.
So I'm just saying, if you did, I could tell my mom, like, "Mom, we made it. Look, I was talking about it." So I'm just saying. He did mention something. Your shirts.
Okay.
I'm gonna get one. Where can they go to get those?
They could either come here on the 27th during the meet and greet, which is the first time I'm doing a meet and greet.
Yes, we need to promote that.
Gracie is actually the brains behind that. She says there's a lot of people who want to meet you. I'm like, no way.
My friend Gracie? My friend Gracie? Gracie listening?
Yeah. So she did this meet and greet, and she's like, well, you need to sell shirts and this and this and that. So we decided to, and the question popped up, where are the proceeds going to? And I hadn't told Gracie this, but I do want to donate to a women's shelter here in town. So I'm going to donate the proceeds. I like people to have shirts. I like them the opportunity to support, because I know the UFC shirts and stuff, they're very expensive. So the opportunity to have it, it has my logo on it. It's actually a silhouette of me. And
I saw them online, and we posted it.
I think he has them right there.
No, this is our stuff. We got another gift for you. Look at us giving gifts. You know what? Ariel Helwani and Joe Rogan do not do this. Can we put that out there? The MMA Hour and Joe Rogan don't do this, so step your game up, boys. MMA Fight Pass gives out gifts, so
I'll let you go start. Or just our standards higher.
I like.
Yeah.
Any color. Oh.
MMA Fight Pass sweater. I don't know what size there.
I like that.
So we want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
We know you're extremely busy. You don't.
Love
She's
it.
official.
So the meet and greet is what day?
The 27th from 11 to 1.
The 27th here at 50 Fitness, 11 to 1. We got shirts, we got autographs. Should be a good time. I have a couple questions before we let you go because I call this the Get to Know Mo segment.
Hey.
I just made it up.
There you go.
No pressure. All right.
Uh-oh.
We got time, right, Archie? Oh, we got 5 minutes. Yeah, it's plenty of time. So you're training for a fight. Your coaches and everybody says you got one cheat meal. What's your go-to meal?
Pizza.
I should have known that. Like half this show has been her talking about pizza. Like she's gonna get some pizza sponsorships pretty soon.
Well, if you said candy, it would be gummy bears.
See, Gracie would not tell me your cheat food. She's
man.
good. She's good. Magic Mountain or Disneyland?
Magic Mountain.
Thrill Seeker or what?
Oh yeah, but Disneyland. Oh no. Too many kids.
I'm glad I'm not the one that feels this way.
In Florida.
I know she's gonna go to Disney World, right?
No.
I have a 1-year-old daughter. I'm sure I'll be going there the next couple of years. I'm like,
Oh, for sure. You have to go at least one time.
yeah. So, Mo's dream matchup.
My dream matchup.
Past fighter, future fighter.
I would have liked to have fought Gina Carano.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
One of the pioneers. Yeah.
I would have liked to have fought her if she was in my weight class. She's a big girl.
What is Mo's one guilty pleasure?
My one guilty pleasure, gummy bears.
Gummy bears. Yeah.
Keep it rated G.
Yeah, there you go.
Gummy bears.
One question I have on his favorite food. We're gonna away from that. We know what it is. Okay. Mo's biggest phobia.
Oh, bees.
Bees.
I hate
You're
bees.
like my wife.
Oh,
My wife wants flowers in the
bees.
garden, but she's afraid of bees.
Yes, so these will go
as we give her- as we
inside. These will go inside, but I have no flowers in my garden whatsoever because I do not do bees at all.
No bees.
I will leave my class. I will run away, and bees will be around them. I'll be like, every man for himself.
Top 10
I will
MMA
throw
fighter
a
running.
child
The kids are like,
in front of it. The bees. Save yourself.
oh, I didn't picture that. I thought it would be like, snakes or something. Like bees. Huh?
Bees. Oh yeah.
Huh. Okay. We got 2 more questions. A couple more here. Okay, if you weren't an MMA fighter or a teacher, what would you be?
Physical therapist. I've always had an interest in
Really?
injuries and how the body works. I went to school for sports medicine, so yeah, very interested in the human body and kinesiology.
Oh, look at that. Okay, now the final question. What is your favorite mixed martial arts podcast?
Duh.
Yeah.
Duh. MMA Fight Pass.
Drop the mic. I'm going to kick over a chair now. Hear that, Joe Rogan? No, Mo, this has been a lot of fun. I really want to thank you. We want to thank you for taking time out. I know you're busy. We wish you the best of luck, man. It's been a lot of fun. Do you want to give out shout-outs, your sponsors, or anybody, your gyms?
Well, first off, 50 Fitness, because she's been a very big part of my training. As far as my strength and conditioning, she's a very good listener, so I have to give a shout out to Gracie. Thank you. A shout out to my training partners at Elite and my coaches. Man, if I didn't have the people that I have to work with, I would not. Basically, where would I be?
Yeah.
I would be basically pummeling myself.
Yeah.
Shout out to Garza Boxing. Garza, he's helped me with my stand-up immensely, and I do appreciate that. And then also, I do cross-train up north with fighters from MMA Gold. I train with a nutritionist and strength coach, Coach Doug, and Jim West out there. And then I also train with another UFC fighter, Aspen Ladd.
Okay, yeah.
She's one of my main sparring partners. So I do have to give a shout out to all of them.
You also did some training in Kings MMA.
I do some training down there, but when I go down south, I usually train with Chris.
Okay.
She basically changed the game for me as far as how training should be and what I should do, and that's learning from the best. So
Awesome.
I attribute that, everybody had a little something to do with what I'm doing now, so I appreciate it.
We are very excited to see the fight coming up. You have anything, Chris?
No, man, you did good.
Just tell me to shut up, dude. I told these guys.
that's good,
I
man.
told these guys when I get around a fighter, I'm like, "What do you do?
I mean,
What do you wear?"
that's it.
I'm like, and Chris is like, "Dude, this guy doesn't
Made-
shut up."
made my job
And the thing about it is, he's the one who got me this position. He's like, "Archie, you got to get this guy." I'm like, "Dude,
I
don't," because when I meet
delegate, man.
fighters, I don't shut up. I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey, you want to watch a movie? Want to do this?" I'm like,
Don't delegate.
"Yeah." He's just here to be like, "Hey, Vic, have me shut up now." He's kicking my table like, "Stop."
No,
shit,
he's good, and you did really well. We appreciate the time, man. God bless you. Do work, man, and
We are fans.
You know how to get a hold of me.
I appreciate it. And the Valley has been such a great support. You know, when I'm getting boos in other countries, I know back home I'm getting cheers. The Valley is, they come together when they need to, and I appreciate it. I mean, all the good vibes.
Well, this has been a fun episode, Mo. We thank you so much. We wish you the very best. MMA Fight Pass fans, we'll be back next week with Chris Hanika. We'll be filming live from the Downtown Club in Fresno. It should be a great show. Mo, go get them. We will be supportive, and be sure to come back sometime.
Oh, absolutely, and thank you for the gifts.
You're awesome.
I'm coming back on this show.
We give gifts, fighters.
And maybe next time I'll have a pizza.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Mo. That was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun. You're very energetic. I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I was having
a
tired day. I was like, oh my gosh, I had to
we
work.
like to make it fun and more. Yeah, let's get you a picture. Yeah, I put Mo in the middle.
I know we've been wanting to do this for some time now, huh?
I'll bring a car. Pick what car you like.
Oh,
we'll do it.
Man, I would love that.
Now, if we could have one take of all of us, and then one of her the sweater on, and we're done.
Jovan, can you come take a picture real quick? Muscle man himself.
I don't know what I'm
Do
doing.
work.
Just take a picture, Archie. Gee.